Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm kind of. I was sitting here trying to think, like, okay, what do I name this stream? I'm like racking my brain, my little Waz brain, and, and then I'm like, a kid named Higurashi, and I'm like, no, 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 I can't do that. That's too stupid. I can't do that. But it's so good. No, but it's stupid. But I did it. I hope everyone is doing well. It's been too long. How long has it been? When did I last stream? It was it's over a month ago. Um so it's good to be back again. This keeps happening where I don't stream for like a month and then I do. But that's fine. Um that's the WAS experience. The Woo experience. I'm playing Higurashi. Yay! Uh last time I think shit started to go down. Oh yeah. Um so I went to in my the month that I haven't been streaming, I went to a convention. It was really good. I had such a great time. But I bought an Umi Neko print from someone that was really exciting. I was like, oh my god, and so I was talking to them and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm playing Higurashi now, and they're like, oh yeah, yeah, that's gonna like start to pick up soon, and then I also saw a Higurashi cosplayer, which was really cool. I think Rena. Yeah, it was Rena. That was really awesome. So yeah, that's related. But let's play. Okay. Here? Yeah, that's when I last streamed. Okay. I remember. Okay, I gotta open this. After this stream, the last stream, where is it? I where is it? I took notes. Oh, it's sorted. Why is this reverse? Okay. Yeah, I took notes. I I went back I went back over some of my old okay, hold on. I went back over my old notes. Just up to like where we were up to. Let's see. Okay. uh so so these are some notes I took. I don't know if I'm gonna use them. I'm not gonna take notes like these on stream, because I think that's just not entertaining to watch. But I might do this off stream sometime. But you can see I've got, and then I've also got the sources because I think that's probably important. Yeah. So this is my information, trying to piece things together. I think I'm probably gonna do this stuff like after the stream, and I'm gonna write it down mostly for me so that I am like I'm soaking up the information like a sponge. I'm a sponge. Because otherwise it's gonna just go in one of my ears and then it's gonna come out of one of my three other ears. So most of this information is from the tips. Some of it is from my old notes when I played like the first two chapters. And I think that's where like I've got some stuff that Tomitake said. I might like go over the game myself. I wanted to just do like, okay, I'm just gonna look at like the tips like after the stream and then take notes, but we'll see. If there's important information, I want to write it down. I also want to get a source. But yeah, this is how I play. This is how I play when they cry. I think I'm probably just gonna close this for now. Actually no, maybe I'll keep it open. I'm gonna keep it open. Um, yeah, I opened up Streamlabs, and I'm like, I got jump scared by this freaking thing. Like, oh my god. But it's so good. So last time, isn't someone died, right? And we were talking to the cop. I gave the cop an accent. Sleepy.
Hi, Rena. Oh, that's a really big yawn. Kate-chicken. That was a really big yawn, Kate-chicken.
I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but it doesn't look like I can do it today. I've got to get back into like my streaming zone. Wow. I was watching TV until late last night. I'm so tired right now. Was one of those raunchy TV shows you loved so much on last night?
How extremely vile.
Wait a second, don't imagine things and jump to conclusions.
It's perfectly normal for boys. Nothing to be ashamed about.
Can we just be normal? Can we be normal for once? Rika not patting my head only made me feel worse. Could you just let me pass out this lunch break? No, seriously.
My, you think I would just sit here and allow that?
I'll get really angry if you disturb me. Really angry. Maybe actually yawn. And that's the end of Higurashi. This is just dreadful. Just so sleepy. I slumped my head onto the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. It seemed that Satoko had responded, but I pretended not to hear.
Cut it out, Satoko-chan. Keiichi-kun fell asleep. His sleeping face. So cute.
You can take him home later, let him be for now.
Let's move over there. It'd be rude to Keiichi if we bothered him now.
Yuki-chan really is a good girl.
Let's not wake him up even if the teacher comes back.
I take that back. The excuse that I didn't sleep much last night was because I was watching TV. It was a lie. I was in bed at the usual time, but because of the conversation with Oishi-san that afternoon, I didn't get much sleep. Yeah, that happened. Just spending the day like this, it's almost as if the incident with Tomitake-san didn't happen at all. Made me think, was Oishi-san just trying to deceive me? But it was probably the truth. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. I want to recalibrate my model because my eyes keep closing. Give me a moment. I feel like this is not recalibrating my model properly. Why? Okay, maybe that's alright. Well, I just moved. You guys can't see anything. I'm having a whole adventure over here. Oh shit. Okay. I accidentally moved my model around. I think that's okay. Wah. Wah. Okay, one thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. I wanted my assistance, but I really didn't know anything about it. If I knew I wasn't going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened in the first place. Ended up with me, again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I had never learned about it, I would, without a doubt, be goofing off with the rest of them right now. My eyes are still closed. I couldn't help but resent Oishi-san for this.
Huh? When was that?
I heard he wasn't there the next day. He vanished the night of the Watanagashi. Neon whispered to keep others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. On the other hand, Rena's voice was even harder to pick up. I could still tell that she was quite upset. Couldn't be. Are they talking about Tomitake-san?
Isake?
Not sure. That's all I know. I would have to feign ignorance about this topic because I needed to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie to join the conversation, it was much easier to just sit here and pretend I was asleep to listen in on the discussion. Wait, why did I have to pretend to be asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung.
So, and me, there are others, right? Too.
But I don't know if it's from the curse or if this was an onikakushi. Onikakushi? Onikakushi? Be hidden away by a demon? What a mysterious phrase. I did, however, get the feeling it meant nothing good.
Well, there was another, right? Right?
If it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah.
But this here, that's all?
Grandma and the mayor talked about it. It seems they talked to the police about it beforehand. They said they'd take care of whatever happens this year without causing a commotion.
And without us knowing it, someone hid them, you mean?
Maybe. 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 Me when someone asked for the first two letters of the alphabet are.
That's good. Yeah, I wonder.
Don't worry. You got home safely.
But it's not allowed, right?
That was a long time ago. Let's stop talking about this. Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was still a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term onikakushi, to be demoned away. By the context it was used in, I would guess it's similar to being spirited away. I suspected that was what it meant because Tomitake-san and that woman really bugged me that I didn't know her name, vanished after the Watanagashi. The next thing that stuck out was when Rena said, "There's another one, right?" And also said, "If it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah," responding to something. If it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, then there had to be two victims. Is that what she meant? Come to think of it, I remember Mion saying something at the beginning. They didn't know if it was from the curse or if it was a case of onikakushi. That's interesting. Is this saying that those are two different things? Seems that the curse and being demoned away, yeah, okay, are different things and they were phenomena that were paired together. That's interesting. I recalled Tomitake-san's terrible end. That wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. That horrendous end would best be described as cursed. Okay, but also Keiichi is just... this is just Keiichi's headcanon. Then the woman with him, it means she... it means she vanished because she was demoned away. What I do know is that there's normally an even number of victims of the curse proper. And the last point that bothered me was Rena. Rena was frightened. For what reason, I didn't know. I wonder why anyone would be frightened. However, she knew that something had made her a potential target for Oyashiro-sama's curse. If I recall correctly, Oyashiro-sama should be the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. Isn't a guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday Oishi-san said that originally the targets were enemies of the village, but recently there was no longer any distinction between them or regular outsiders. But if that was the case, then I would think that I'd be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Rena. From her composure, I could infer that she was grimly certain that she would be next. I should probably relay what I heard just now to Oishi-san, informing the police of what I heard by eavesdropping on my friends while pretending to be asleep. It's shady stuff, Keiichi-kun. Made me feel terrible. Raised a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better not to seek the answers to those questions? I'm gonna have some tea. Meh, I've got the same, like, flask. the one that prompted the beautiful drawing that you can see on the left. I've got... I think it's, like, it's lemon flavor? Lemon something? Gotta cool it down. Hot. As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret ever having learned of these events. It's still hot.
The teacher approaches. Keiichi-san, you must awaken.
In the distance, I could hear the ring of the handbell signaling the start of afternoon classes.
Gah.
I couldn't sleep at all! I hastily opened my eyes and raised my head up. It was in that moment when I leaned against the back of my seat. Oh god. Oh! There was a thumbtack stuck on the back of my chair with tape. That's brutal! That's vicious! Circumstantial evidence was enough. Satoko! Guilty without trial. Capital punishment! I furiously jumped up from my seat, and I tripped as if my feet were tangled up. My shoelaces had been tied together. Not bad, Satoko. While I was sleeping, you were able to conceal your presence to pull off this fine piece of work. The teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko. Why are my eyes closed all the time? That's bugging me so much. I need to drink my tea and calm down. I'm fine. You gotta stay hydrated. It's yummy. Okay. I'm gonna, like, fiddle with my model again. Off screen. You have to fill in the blanks with your imagination. Okay. Because when I've had this problem before, but usually I can fix it by just recalibrating my model. But when I look down, I'm like reading text, my eyes on my model get closed. Okay, I think this seems okay now. Sorry. I just went so quiet. Eyes open. I could just make it so I can't close my eyes. They're just wide open constantly. The teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko.
Oh ho ho! Did you not notice that our teacher has arrived, Keiichi-san? Take your seat.
Clomp clomp, whish whiff. Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead.
Blah. Keiichi-san is being mean.
Hey, don't pick on the younger kids, Mayabara-kun. Apologize to her. I saw Satoko stick her tongue out at me. That little brat. Come on, Mayabara-kun? Yeah, I'll apologize. Sorry, Satoko-san. In any case, I apologized even if it was in a completely insincere tone of voice. Damn her, I'll remember this. Kei-chan, Kei-chan! Get your revenge at the club meeting. Take your seat, take your seat. I sat down after Mion told me to. She'd switched to class representative mode. With the boring classes finished, school is finally over for the day. Now then, what should we do for our club today? I don't know why, but I was like... that was like Danganronpa to me. Now then, what should I do with who should I hang out with in my free time today? Boring old free time. Personally, I would like to play that deduction game one more time. I was hardly able to play it last time because of Oishi-san. Oh yeah! Reina and I weren't even able to test our strategy. Oh yeah!
That's right. Today, Keiichi-kun and I will be victorious.
What should we do? We've never played the same game 2 days in a row before. I have. Whoa. Why not try asking me? Not me, I mean me. Not me. Mian looked over her shoulder as we made eye contact. She slowly tapped her palm with her fist as her face suddenly lit up. Oops, I completely forgot. I need to go help my uncle today. Sorry guys, not today. Helping your uncle? Aren't you a little goody two-shoes? Sorry, really. I really did forget. Well then, sorry guys. This old man is heading back home now. Neon left us with that and rushed off to the exit after snatching up her bag. I wanna try and give Mion a bit of like a slightly more distinct voice to Keiichi. Cause she's just kind of my voice. And I'm sure it's probably even harder for you guys watching to like tell them apart than it is for me, because I'm like, okay, yes, there's a slight difference, but then like if you're watching this, like, well, not watching this, if you're listening to it, like, indistinguishable. I mean, that's fine, but like, yeah. Did I read that? Mion left us with that and rushed up to the exit after snatching up her bag.
You see, Mi-chan, she sometimes goes to help out at her uncle's shop in town.
I thought she wasn't the type to get caught up in such bothersome stuff.
She said that she gets paid for it. It's quite a bit of spending money, from what I hear.
I see. She was able to pay for that mountain of games with what she saved up from there. But that... when you call- oh my god! Speaking of saving up, holy shit, okay, that just made me think because... oh my god, okay, I started thinking about things I want to spend my money on. And, oh my god, Hatsune Miku's coming to Australia. And I'm so excited. Oh my holy shit. I never thought, like, I didn't think that this would happen. Like, I did not expect it at all. And I'm so excited and I'm definitely gonna go see. It means I'm gonna travel a bit, but that's fine. Anything for Hatsune Miku. I'm so, oh holy shit, dude. Oh man. Anyways. But that, wouldn't you call that a part-time job? Isn't that against school policy?
There's a clause that states household chores are excluded.
Is that what she's calling it? So what now? Us on the club today?
So, we're done today, I guess.
Oh, that... Space- okay, Space hides that. I gotta remember that. When do we fight even without the club president? Let's do this. I opened the club locker and began searching for the deduction game from that ever-growing pile of games. Oh, there's a corpse! Corpse falling out of the locker. Oh, corpse! That's a dead body. Okay. Alright. Here it is. The deduction game from yesterday. Man, I had to stop just as I was getting the hang of it. At the very least, I wanted to repay Satoko for what she did during the afternoon break.
I do not mind. But is that fine for Rena-san and Rika? If Keiichi-kun wants to so badly, I wouldn't mind playing for a bit. I think it's better if we do it when we have everyone together.
When she says it like that,
I wanted to go shopping if there wasn't a club meeting today. Going to buy soy sauce and other things. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot. Well, I guess since it's been a while, I should go treasure hunting.
What's this now? Everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities. If I kept on trying to push the matter, it may make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. Ah well, I'll give up this time. And I really was looking forward to playing it. Shuffle through the cards as if I was still caught up on it.
At the next opportunity, I shall give you a sound thrashing. Oh ho ho!
The murderer is Satoko. The murder weapon is the pistol. It was you after all.
What did you say? Then I'll just...
Satoko looked through the cards on the desk and stuck out 3 of them at me.
The murderer is Keiichi, in the lounge with the rope.
I don't need no rope. I'll just strangle you like this.
No! Keiichi-san is such a beast.
Phew. Well, I guess it's good that I got that out of my system.
Wow, I'll remember this Keiichi-san. She was used as a plaything for quite a while. You poor thing. Cute.
Can we get back to the murder, please? Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped gather up the scattered cards. I suddenly paused. They were just the suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Rena, Satoko, Rika, Keiichi, Mion. Satoshi. Oh, I forgot about this. Okay, no, I didn't need to connect any dots, but okay. Satoshi? Not all the cards were made by us. Or at least every card besides this one had the name of a club member. Does this mean that this Satoshi fellow is a member? Was there someone in the class named Satoshi? I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster stuck up on the wall.
Keiichi-kun, let's hurry and finish cleaning up.
Being rushed by Rena, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed merrily for their lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Rena had already gotten her bag and was ready to leave. Rena, there must be quite a few people who transfer from this school, right? I tried asking Rena in a bit of a roundabout way. Rena made a troubled face and then answered.
Yeah. Minamizawa is a rural town.
That's a hard word to say.
A rural town, right? Some people transfer out every now and then.
Then is Satoshi another one of those transferees?
Sorry, I don't really know.
There was a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate.
I'm not saying it to be mean. Just last year, I transferred in, so maybe I just missed him. So I didn't hear much. Keiichi-kun.
I feel like I lost her voice.
Keiichi-kun, so cute. I didn't hear much about him. Sorry.
I am not sure. Sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. That damn murder. I was saddened by her denial and felt a little bit of anger. I mean, it seems like she doesn't know. I'm their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Oh, I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse thing from me. But if everyone is worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's what it means to be friends, right? For a moment, I wondered just what kind of face I was making just then, with these mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance.
Keiichi-kun, you're making a scary face. Why is it? Why?
It was probably exactly the kind of face Rena said it was. It appeared my grim expression had frightened her. Sorry. I was really looking forward to the club today. I'm just feeling down about it. I rustled Rena's hair. Let's go home. Dragging that awkward mood with us, we headed home. I wonder why. Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? I didn't know anything. I had nothing to worry about. I was just enjoying my everyday life. My long, outstretched shadow gave no answer to my naive inquiry. Shadow! Why? Why? Rena said,
Keiichi-kun! Keiichi-kun, are you tired? Maybe.
Rena timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made the situation even more unsettling. You think so?
Yeah. You seem to have been a little out of it ever since this morning. You keep talking to your shadow. He's not gonna answer. I've tried, Keiichi-kun. Keiichi-kun, it won't work. You have to confide in your friends, Keiichi-kun. This whole game is about the power of friendship and how you have to confide in your friends. And not the shadow. I am God, I'm rambling. I'm the shadow, I'm the true self. Maybe a cold.
Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. It may not seem like it, but I've had perfect attendance since elementary school. Could not be me in a million years. Rena continued on since I didn't give her an answer.
It could be that the fatigue from moving has finally caught up to you. Completely different from where you used to live, after all. Of course you've gotten tired, since there's so much you need to get used to and remember.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, it has to be. Rena was also like that at first too. I can tell you, you know? You know? You know?
Sorry, I'm excited to be playing this game again. I've really missed streaming. And I wondered if Rina also experienced a slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Thinking so, I felt that she was the only one who could understand how I felt. I'd like to hear about when you first came to Hinamizawa. How was it? Feeling I had been drawn into the conversation, her face suddenly brightened.
It's the same as Keiichi-kun. I didn't know the villagers' names at all. Mi-chan and the rest were all very kind, so I wasn't lonely, but I did still feel a little out of the place.
Reina told me all the details of when she had moved here. All of her first acquaintances and surprises, worries and good times. So, Satoko got you too?
Yeah, that was a thumbtack put on my chair. Poke. And with that, that really takes me back.
I love Reina. I think she's so cute and sweet, and I really love her. When were you invited into the club? The first day?
Nah, there wasn't a club at the beginning. It was formed partway through. One day, she said we should stay after and hold a big game tournament.
Come to think of it, Mion did say she was the first club president. Okay, so already with Satoshi, that name, either that game, it's a secondhand game, it was played with other people, or Reina was in a club with Satoshi. Assuming that is even one of the, like, that is a person. Anyways, Mion did say she was the first club president. Now I get it.
This is a secret, but Mi-chan used to be really bad at the beginning. She'd never win.
Huh? Mion, really? I can't even imagine that.
They had to do most of the penalties that she came up with. Seriously, don't tell.
Can't believe Mion was like that. So she gradually transformed into a monster who used any means necessary to win during that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty.
I began making more friends besides Mi-chan after that, but yeah, might have only been since we moved here that I had finally felt like I had gotten used to it here.
I guess Rina had also been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama when she just moved here. I guess when they finally told me about Oyashiro-sama, I'd be considered one of them. What when I'll finally be considered one of them?
Huh? Did you say something?
No, sorry. Just talking to myself.
Keiichi-kun, you're silly.
Then was poking fun and laughing at me, and I couldn't help but laugh as well. Ah ha 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 ha! But I suddenly stopped. Then, after making up my mind, I spoke. Hey, Reina. Is there something that everybody is keeping from me? Huh? No, not at all. You're lying, aren't you? Reina suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense.
What do you mean by that, Keiichi-kun?
Her tone was still the same cheery and light-hearted one as before. You are, aren't you? Keeping something from me? After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash. But she came back at me in a way I didn't expect.
Well then, Keiichi-kun, aren't you keeping something from us?
Oh boy. Oh dude, it's But like, okay, I knew this was coming. I didn't exactly remember when. But like, oh, it's so off-putting. It's so unsettling. I love it. Huh? Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Rena. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Rena. Squished! Squished!
Aren't you? Lies or secrets, aren't you?
You are. Secrets. She didn't actually say that part, but she looked as if she did. The incident with Tomitake-san, and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, there were things I knew that I felt guilty about. But I didn't tell everyone about what happened with Tomitake-san to be considerate. I was keeping it a secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Oyashiro-sama. Then, aren't we even? No, I'm not. No lies. No secrets.
Liar.
Her answer was instant, and it shook me. Rena stared as if burrowing through me, watching me, like a hawk. Why would you say that I'm lying?
Didn't you say that you were called into the teacher's room yesterday during the club meeting, Keiichi-kun?
I know.
You didn't go to the teacher's room.
I swallowed hard. Clearly wasn't a bluff, she knew what happened.
The teacher said you had a guest, didn't she? But you didn't talk at the entrance. You talked inside of the car near the school gate with some man we don't know.
Rena knew everything. She knew that I was called out by Oishi-san, and that I heard about the incident with Tomitake-san as well. Did she know all of it?
Exactly who was that man?
I don't know him.
Why did someone you don't know have business with you?
I want to know that myself. Kid named Where Did You Go? Hey Echo Nines, it's so good to see you.
Then what did you talk about?
Has nothing to do with you guys. It was a lie. Lies! Rena's scream echoed through the trees, sending frightened birds into the air. Die and come back recently. Yeah, no, it happens. Sometimes I just die for like a month and then I come back to life. It's cause, okay, I mean, I guess I'm a tiger, but like I'm basically a cat. I have like 9 lives. But the lives like replenish like every year. So I like, this happens like 9 times a year. Sending frightened birds into the air. I couldn't exhale the deep breath I had just taken. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. Hell yeah. It was here I first realized. The person in front of me, she wasn't Rena Ryugu. Then, who was it that was standing before me now? Who had assumed Rena Ryugu's appearance? I'd held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating.
Right?
And she made a facial expression that Rena normally might have made. It didn't matter that it was Rena's usual smile. It chilled me to the bone. She drew closer to me. Felt her breath against my face. Wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was with Rena's face was going to chew my nose right off. Oh my god! And the person with Rena's face already chewed Rena's nose off because she has no nose. Maybe that's how they assumed her face. They ate her nose off and then they climb inside of her through her nose. Okay, anyways. A coward as I imagined that. Then she smirked as if she was able to see right through me.
We also have secrets, just like how Keiichi-kun has secrets.
It was Rena's usual smile, but her eyes were still like that of a hawk's. Bringing her face close up to mine to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I couldn't nod or shake my head. This person standing in front of me, this person who looked like Rena, frightened me to my core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. After what felt like an eternity, after a long, empty silence, she finally spoke.
Let's go. It's getting chilly.
It was Rena again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking off. She started walking as if nothing at all had happened.
She's just a cute, silly girl. I love her so
that had to happen like right after I was saying like, yeah, no, I love Rena so much. She's just so cute and sweet and silly and then she does that. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me and I slumped onto the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Rena was out of sight. Who was that? I felt cold. My body was drenched in sweat. You're more silly? We'll see about that. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and ask myself once again, who was that person who looked like Rena Ryugu? Ooh, it's so good. Silly level is so high it results in mental instability. So true. So true. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. Was I terrified from Rena going off on me? No, that's not right. That was someone else who only looked like Rena. Then who could it have been? It's the nose-eating, skin-stealing imposter! Oh, I've solved it, everyone. It was a dreadful feeling, knowing that that was someone else, not Rena. So tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Rena like I usually do. Your silly level, if it reaches the max, I rise and gain a new form. That's what happened to me. That's what happened with my new model. I got so silly, I got a new form. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head. So Keiichi is reasoning, like, is rationalizing it the right? I feel like that's the right word. He's rationalizing it by saying, that's not Rena, that's someone else that looks exactly like Rena. Or like, that took her over or whatever. He's like, Rena's fine. She would never be intimidating. She's just silly. Though those thoughts continued swirling around my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the stairs. Keiichi, it's a call from the bookstore. Bookstore? I can't read. Can't think of why they'd be calling me. Yeah, so true. I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. My apologies for call- Oh, I gave him an accent. My apologies for calling so late at night. It's me, Oishi of the Okinomiya bookshop. Oishi-san? Oh, it's Oishi-san. Sorry. Since your parents picked up, I said I was from the bookstore. Puts people off when I say I'm a police officer. Oishi-san was, in his own way, rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed back up to my room on the second floor. Sorry for calling so late. That phone number on the piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number. My apologies. Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you? Yeah. Okay. Give me the number for his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up. How was it being, my Abata-san? Did anything strange happen recently? I see. This was the real reason. He really beat around the bush there. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed. Are you from around here, Oishi-san? Yeah, I am. Born and raised in Okinomiya. I'm gonna pour myself some more tea. Cause I don't wanna hurt my throat. Do you also randomly meow 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 meow? Yeah, all the time. Common symptom of being silly. He's from around here, he might know. Oishi-san, do you know what this Onikakushi thing is about? I believe that's when somebody suddenly vanishes because they're being abducted by a demon. It's a special saying from around here. Someone has died. Tomitake. The photographer guy. I think that's... Let me see. Not the protagonist. Not yet. Yeah. Yeah, so Tomitake is dead. And then there's also someone missing. Guy had 15 seconds of screen yeah. His role was to info dump and then die. It has the same meaning in a spirited way like everyone else says. Where's my- How incomprehensible can I make his accent? It's like you have to be like watching and reading to actually know what the fuck I'm saying. Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. Maybe a bit happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything. Misawa was, not sure if I should tell you this, my Abata-san. I'm gonna try to play this off. If you're not gonna talk, then I'm not gonna tell you anything. Ah, no. That's not what I meant, it's just, it may make you feel bad. Might make you feel bad. Still hot. You see, long ago, Hinamizawa was feared as the village where demons reside. Demons? By demons you mean those pitchfork-carrying things in hell? More like human-eating monsters. They'd go down to villages, snatching people up and gobbling them down. That kind of tale. Even snatching up people is what this Onikakushi really means. They said that the curse and being demoned away happened together. What does that mean? By demons, I mean Shin Megami Tensei. Or SMT, as the kids call it. Or she's actually a gamer. I'd love to make a bunch of SMT references, but have not played SMT. I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row, but I didn't know there were people disappearing those same 5 years. The curse and being demoned away happened together. If you didn't play SMT -6 on the Sega Ultra Drive in 1935, you aren't a true fan. It's true. That's true. First time I've heard of that. Is that how it is, my Bada-san? Let me see. I've got some notes. Yeah, I have some notes I took. I'm pretty sure this is just from information that we have, but like that we have so far. I don't think any of this is from the future, but I'm gonna hold on to it until the game actually mentions anything, because I don't want to spoil anything. That's my biggest worry. Until I get up to, like, I think the third, like, game, I'm like in the yeah, time travel. I'm in the danger zone because I played the first 2 games, and I took extensive notes. That's what I want to know. I heard Rena and Mion talking. They said that if it was really Oyashiro-sama's curse, then both the curse and demoning away would happen. Oishi-san began hemming and hawing on the other side of the receiver. Got an X-ray today? I hope everything's okay. Did they find any X's in your ray? It was about as entertaining as watching paint dry. Oh boy. Did you get to see your bones? Ham ha. That's what I was gonna do that. Did I already do that? Ham ha. Wow, that's a lot of X's. Maybe something about that came to mind? Mayabara-san. You know the first incident. The murder by dismemberment. Yeah. One of the 6 perpetrators is still on the run, right? Hypothetically. What if he isn't on the run, but was demoned away? Huh? It was an outrageous hypothesis from Oishi-san. The incident 4 years ago was the particularly ghastly one. That's the dismemberment. That damn dismemberment, right? Yeah. Police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. So they know... Okay, so they know the identity of the person who, like, fled. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be. Unless the police were completely incompetent. The police would never be completely incompetent! Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off. Then, what about the incident the next year? When the man who supported the project and his wife both died in an accident? Well, actually, it was only the husband who died in an accident. His wife's body never surfaced. Unless you find the body, then it's considered a missing person by law. At the time of the incident, with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police divers had searched every branch off the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end, they weren't able to find her body. Plot twist, he is me! But Woman version 2.6 update. But that's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right? Is it different from her being demoned away? We cannot say someone is dead without their body. Till a certain number of years pass, by law she's treated as still alive. Hello, I like Kingdom Hearts. Not sure if it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife is missing. At least that part was reality. How about the third year? The Shinto priest died of illness, and his wife committed suicide? Mayabata-san. That's actually the exact same scenario. That's me. Wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless swamp deep in the forest around Hinamizawa, meaning it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found a suicide note in front of the swamp. I think that this was included in one of the tips. Like, I don't think this is I don't think this is me accessing the morphogenetic field to like I think this is information that at this point in the game you already have. Yeah. The diver was able to recover a few of her articles, but they weren't able to find her body. The investigative headquarters believed that she had faked her death and was still alive somewhere. I'm not sure if we could refer to these cases as being demoned away. It's just as you said, every year one person does go missing. The incident this year, the woman with Tomitake-san has gone missing. Then what about the incident with the housewife beaten to death? Who went missing? I believe the perpetrator was caught, right? Yeah, we arrested him. He was just a miscreant with a record of narcotics abuse. Posture check. Oh boy. Oh, I was shrimped. Thank you. He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different incident. But, well, you see. After he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing. It's still under investigation as to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime. But you said you caught him, right? Did he have an accomplice? No idea. It was most likely only the one perpetrator. Moreover, we can't even check now, because while under investigation, that man, he died in his holding cell. Swallow. Oh, sorry. I was like, huh? He swallowed a spoken chick to death. I'm like, are you talking about Oishi? They're talking about the guy who died. I'm like, that was really sudden. Oh no. Jump scare. It's not known whether it was an accident or suicide. Meaning, for the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one who goes missing? That's about right. No, actually, I'm surprised as well. I never realized they had that in common. You didn't- You never- And you're investigating this case and you went like, okay, what are some, like, things that are linking this case? Like, what are some similarities? I couldn't believe that this could help lead to the closing of those- I couldn't believe that this could help lead to the closing of those incidents. It was just something they had in common. Could it be that those demoned away have something in common? Yeah, they went missing. Oishi-san mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events. The first year was the dam employee. Second year was the wife of a dam project supporter. Third year was the wife of the Shinto priest. Fourth year was the victim's family's child. And the fifth year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess. Doesn't seem like there's anything that connects them. With the exception of the first year, wives and girlfriends. Those do stand out. Does seem like there are a lot. And that means the fourth year's victim's child was different. Would have really stood out if they were all married. It would have really stood out if it were all married couples, except it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomitake-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly. The child that went missing in the fourth year, who were they? Apparently he was quite mature, 1 year older than you. His name was Satoshi Hojo-san. 1 year older, okay. I've got this written down. I don't need to write this down. I have this written down in my extensive notes that I took when I first played it, and I can look over that again and then I can put it in my thinking zone document. Okay. Huh? Satoshi? I remembered that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year? Do you have the autism for this game? I think I do. I think I won't fully be like super bad Higurashi until we actually get to like what I actually haven't played yet. But like I'm super autistic about Umineko. And I think this is gonna be the same. It was at your school up until last year. When I was playing this, the first bit, like when I started playing, like I had just finished Umineko, and we went to visit, like me and my family, we went to visit my grandma who lives like kind of like in like a rural area. And the whole time I'm like, oh my god, this is just like Higurashi. Oh my god, this is just like Higurashi. Oh my god. Yeah, the brain rot was really bad. And because I couldn't bring like my PC to play this, because I don't have a laptop anymore. I couldn't bring my PC, and so I had like the Umineko manga like downloaded on my iPad, and I was reading that because I just finished Umineko and I was brain rotting so bad. Oh my god. Was at your school up until last year. Didn't they tell you anything about him? Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Even I go to village. Oh, she's just like Resident Evil 4. Oh my god. The other day, it was like super foggy. I'm like in the car with my dad. I'm like, oh my god. It's just like Persona 4. It's just like, oh my god. This means that, oh my god, you have to get the person out of the TV. Well, if you haven't got the person out of the TV, then that means the shutters are gonna be in the TV mode because of the fog. He's like, please. We want to go to Shibuya and she gets Persona 5, exactly. Then where I sat once belonged to the one who was demoned away. It was his seat. I recalled the cold sensation that came from that desk. It made my hair stand on end. The string of mysterious deaths. No, Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. It's so popular they made it IRL. Yeah, no, I think that's so cool. It's great that like Persona was so popular they made it. Like they made Japan real. That chilling sensation. It was the feeling of Oyashiro-sama caressing the back of my neck. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Would Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it. And I was scared. That was why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by a man and not the work of a curse. But the more I dug into it, the less likely that seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging, eventually, I'd reach the point where I'd learn something I really shouldn't know. Will either be none the wiser, or to seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happier with? Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. Yeah, it's like when Wazuki was created, when Australia got popular enough to become real. Wait. I was created when Australia was okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that I think that makes sense. Although maybe it was I got so popular and then Australia, but they made Australia a real thing. So I remembered Rena. Rena said she may be the next victim of the curse. You mean Rena Ryugu-san? She transferred in last year and she's your classmate, isn't she? These incidents really might be a bit too disturbing for a girl. She's not just scared, is she? A real scientist, definitely not just not someone who's perfectly safe. Yeah. It wasn't that. She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it. It felt like she was convinced. Almost as if, you could say she was frightened. A sudden change in demeanor. That someone who looked like Rena but wasn't Rena. That might be unrelated. All the strange things that I felt from Rena today came back to me. I see. Oh my god. Then I'll be doing a bit of investigating on this end. Please continue your observations of Ryugu-san, Mayabara-san. You're asking me to keep Rena under surveillance? That's not what I mean, my Mayabara-san. I just want you to watch out for your friend so she doesn't end up the next victim. That moment, as my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. Knock knock. Oh, you have secret news on Hollow Knight Silk Song? But it's never coming out. It will release at some point. Who can say? A sudden knock at the door set my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the end of the receiver. Keiichi, get the door, please. On the other side of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? It's so late. Sorry, my dad just came in. Can we leave it at this for tonight? Yeah. My apologies for calling so late. If you find out anything else, please let me know. I'll tell you if I make any progress on this end. Well then, have a pleasant evening. I feel like that's in character for Ishii. Keiichi, hurry and open up. Team Cherry told me directly before they called the police for unauthorized entry to a workplace. I believe that. That sounds pretty true. Daddy's got his hands full. I did not want to say that. What is Dad doing? It stayed in the same position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. When I opened the door, I saw my father was standing there with a tray. On that tray, cookies and 2 cups of black tea. Fairly fancy spread for our household. There was even sugar and lemon slices on the side. Everything you could ask for. This was quite the show of hospitality. What's going on, Dad? What's all this for? Come now, don't play around, Keiichi. I'm coming in. Dad was in high spirits and had a smirk on his face. But for my entire life, I've never seen him act this hospitable. What had gotten into him? So what were you talking about? I jumped. Zoinks! It's not something I had to keep from my father, but how could I explain to him I was talking to a detective? I'm assuming he was, this late at night. You don't even know if he's a detective? No, nothing much. Just a friend. I don't mean the phone. She was here, wasn't she? Reina-chan. She wasn't here. Come now, don't try to keep it from me. She just came over to play. You two were chatting away, so I thought I'd bring some tea, but looks like I just missed her. I had no idea what Dad was talking about. But a cold sweat dripped down my back. But how long were we talking? Reina-chan went upstairs about half after, so it was close to an hour, I guess? Yeah. I kind of look like the silly from this game. It's the orange hair, but and the blue eyes, I guess, as well. I'm quite pleased with that. I'm okay with that. You saw her come up to the 2nd floor? Yeah, I did. Also told her that your room was the door down the hall up the stairs. Reina came to my house about an hour ago. Dad met her at the door and called out to me on the 2nd floor. I probably didn't hear him because I was so focused on my conversation with Oishi-san. I didn't reply, but he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside. Then told her my room was on the 2nd floor. What was I doing? I'm not telling you. She thanked my dad and went upstairs, steal his PC. No. No, hides like I'm like under my shirt there's like a huge box and I'm just like kind of trying to like no pose so you can't see it. And then about an hour passed. She passed by my dad just as he was bringing up tea and left. She came upstairs and about an hour passed. Then passed by my dad and returned home. Then after she came upstairs and until she left, where was Rena? It's only a short hallway between my room and the stairs. So Rena came into Keiichi's house and was invited to his room by his dad. She was in the house for like an hour. Meaning, Rena had, for about an hour, in the hall. No, she couldn't have been standing in front of my door all that time. The door to my room wasn't particularly thick. You could easily hear everything being said inside. All of the unsettling and unguarded things I spoke to Oishi-san about began rushing through my head. Honey, don't tease him. More importantly, you need to clean up your studio. It's a mess again. Mom yelled up at Dad from downstairs. She playing on a 3DS. She's like,
I'll just leave the Kichi-kun. Beep, 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 beep.
that's 3DS sounds. Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed chortle. I followed my dad out of the room with my eyes and looked down at the floor around the doorway where Rena might have stood all that time. Just now, I was talking to Oishi-san with my back turned. Rena was standing a mere 6 feet away the whole time. Oh my god, Keiichi reveal. All that time, in this dimly lit doorway. What did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? As the steam from the 2 teacups ominously wafted and twisted. Have some tea. GA Persona 4. Dude, this part of the game, when I first played it, I kind of wish that I just streamed it from the start when I first started playing. But anyways, it's so unsettling. It's like, holy fuck. What the fuck? Is she insane? Like, what's happening? It puts you so on edge. I'm not really reacting because, like, I already know. I already knew that this happened. No, she's just silly. Yeah. Silly overload. Blah. 2 tips unlocked. Tips acquired. Notice from the police chief. Okay. Surprised she hasn't gone meow 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 yet. She might. I mean, there was earlier, there was some cat ears. Was that? Yeah, there was some cat ears, I think, but I don't think she wore them. There's always a chance they could come back into play. I don't know. I would not be surprised. Okay. I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. Tea break. Wow, wow. Enjoy the ominous music. I'll return shortly, and we'll continue. I'm back! Jack's here! Kitty cat! Yay! Hope you enjoyed the lovely, super calming music. Jack, come here, boy. Yay! Jack is, because it's really cold where I live. He's super cuddly. But only on his terms. He doesn't ever want to cuddle when I want to cuddle. And most of the time when he wants to cuddle, I'm like sitting at my desk in like one of my weird positions, like knees up or like God knows what. And he's like, I am gonna sit on your lap. This is where I am now, and you can't do anything about it. Okay, new tips. Notice from the police chief. Oh, I meow at like every cat I see. My job is my job is with cats. And I don't exactly meow at them because I don't know how appropriate it is, but I will talk to them. I'll be like, they'll meow and I'll be like, yeah, is that so? Oh really? That's so interesting. I do that with my own cats as well. And I meow at them. Okay, July 1st, 1982. Yeah. I'm becoming one of them. Departments 1 through 12. XX Prefectural Police Headquarters. Oh yeah, I was reading that as meh. Director General meh. To the Chief Constable and all facility managers. Regarding cases situated in the Hinamizawa village, notice. As cases in Shishibone City, Hinamizawa village have been reported by certain sections of mass media. I can't. This makes no sense to me. It has drawn global attention, which is causing serious repercussions for the local residents. This has become a very serious situation. As cases in Shishibone City, okay, their cases. The cases situated in the Hinamizawa village, their cases in Shishibone City. Hinamizawa village have been I'm trying to decipher what this means. Like, cases in Shishibone City, Hinamizawa village have been reported by... If it said has, as cases in Shishibone City, Hinamizawa village has been reported by certain sections of mass media. Oh, it's 2 a.m? You should probably snooze. The VOD will be here and I'll upload it to YouTube in a couple days as well. Bye bye, sleep well! Yay! I'm gonna have some more tea. So, I'm still trying to decipher this. Okay. So these cases, maybe it's like kind of informal. It's like just taking notes down. It doesn't have to make sense. It's like grammatical sense. It's just the message of it. These cases have been reported by certain sections of mass media. Yeah, okay. Alright, okay, makes sense. I drink tea. I'm worried about like my throat like playing up. Maybe I should have like a cough drop. Is that what you call them? Will that help? Maybe it'll help. I should really look into that stuff more. Because this is a regular issue. Hold on. Let me go dig around on my... What do you call it? Dresser. Is that it? I feel like that's not it. When you have a mirror. And then there's like the the dresser underneath. Is it a dresser? I feel like there's another name for it. I'm gonna dig through that. Let's see. Oh, check. Let's. Lozenges. I don't know if these will. I mean, my throat is hurting a bit, but I don't know if it's gonna be if it like works kind of preventatively. Hmm. Hmm. Welcome to Waz stream, where I get distracted so easily. Let me look this up actually. Why am I doing research in the middle of a stream? Okay, I think it's okay. Okay. Is from global. Okay, yeah. To protect the livelihood and prosperity of the residents, the following notice has been issued. 1. Designate the following criminal investigations as classified. I'm getting comfy. I'm getting adjusted. Okay. Okinomiya Station. Okinomiya Station 1982 case number Hinamizawa Village housewife murder dated June Okinomiya Station 1982 case number Hinamizawa Village student disappearance dated June non-disclosure of information. Okinomiya Station 1979 case number Hinamizawa Village site foreman murder dated June Chira Station 1980 case number Shirakawa Natural Park falling incident dated June Okinomiya Station 1981 case number Hinamizawa Village Shinto priest's wife disappear Hinamizawa Village Shinto priest's wife's disappearance dated June 3. Requesting self-restraint from each organization concerning the release of sensitive information. Please see attached reference materials 1, 2, and 3. Management, Prefecture, Police Headquarters. Internal line, Police Affairs Department, Okay. I don't know what that told us. I guess maybe general kind of like years. Okay. Let's continue. Weariness and a headache. Not a very nice way to start the day. Holy shit. Clean your kitchen, put stuff away. Come on. What's wrong? Keiichi, you don't look so well. When did you go to sleep? It seemed that my mom had noticed my sullen state. Yesterday, I kept on waking up in the middle of the night. Without a doubt, I felt a presence. I felt the presence of someone standing in front of my door. I told myself repeatedly that it was my imagination and forced myself to try and sleep. Except, not being able to stand it, I gathered up my courage and opened the door. Of course there wasn't anyone there. I think I did this 3 times throughout the night. Or maybe I just didn't remember doing it any more than that. Even though I was able to get to the breakfast table without incident, I still didn't feel at ease. It might be a cold. I don't really have an appetite. My. You do seem a little warm. Well, can you make it to school? Technically I did go to a school, but it was mostly self-study. Wouldn't matter much if I missed a day, would it? It could have been that I hadn't been feeling well for the last few days, because I really did have a cold. I took some medicine and got a good day of rest. I might be able to greet everyone with a smile tomorrow. Ding dong! Startled, I looked back and forth between the entrance and the clock. It was 10 minutes later than when I usually met up with Rena. It was Rena. Rena-chan came to get you. What are you going to do? You going to take the day off? Rena was a good girl. She might be somewhat quirky. She might be quirky! She might be quirky, everyone! She was certainly cute. The lunches she made were delicious and she always looked out for me. Why should I be so scared of something like that? It wasn't Rena's fault. It was probably mine. It had to have been my cold. It just had to be. I'll rest. Sorry. Ben, I'll go send her off for you. Mom headed off to the door. I would have to pass by the entrance to get back to my room. I didn't have the nerve to meet with Rena, so I wrapped myself in a blanket on the sofa and closed my eyes. I was so sleep deprived I quickly fell into a deep slumber. I had only intended to lie down for a bit, but it was almost noon when I woke up. I called out to my parents, but they didn't seem to be around. On the table, I found lunch prepared and a note. Mum and Dad had apparently driven off to somewhere far away. Likely had to do with Dad's work. This happened every so often, so it wasn't that unusual. They would be back for dinner, but might be a bit late. On the note, it said, "The insurance card is in the cabinet. Take it and go to the hospital." There was also a well-drawn map to the hospital. That's right. I hadn't been there before, so I didn't know exactly where it was. I had a light lunch, although it really was just leftovers from the morning, and just in case, went to the hospital. I guess it's the hospital because it's like a small place, so it's probably like also where they have like the doctor, like the GP and stuff. Normally I'd never be here in the middle of a weekday. Just walking around like this had me feeling guilty. It was an odd feeling. Following my mum's map, I took a road I usually never used. After walking for a bit, the hospital sign came into view. Why would you, if you have a cold, why would you be like, okay, I'm gonna walk to the hospital? Like, I guess maybe to pick up some medicine, but like, here son, I know that you are sick and you slept on the couch for hours and missed school, which is very abnormal. But how about you go take a walk somewhere you've never been before? Outside. After walking for a bit, the hospital sign came into view. Irie Clinic was written in rather stylish... Irie Clinic, I assume that's how you say that, was written rather stylishly on the sign. The clinic wasn't very big, but based on the scale of the rest of Hinamizawa, it was far too grand. There was a parking lot and even a reserved spot for buses. They must be making a mint. I spaced out in the air-conditioned waiting room until it was my turn to be seen. Mayabata-san, please make your way to the examination room. After half-heartedly answering all of the chatty doctor's questions, he responded with the old, "It's probably a cold." They gave me a shot and 3 days worth of medicine. They shot you?! I thought it was a little overboard, but if it would clear away the gloomy feeling I'd been having lately, then it was worth it. I settled the bill and took a quick trip to the washroom. As I was leaving, I overheard a conversation between some elderly people who seemed to be regulars at the clinic. Of course, I had no intention of eavesdropping. If it just wasn't for that word. Must have been an onikakushi. I wonder,
She was still pretty young, might have just eloped. With whom? That man from Tokyo who visits every season, that young woman with that big camera. Didn't you know they were getting along pretty well? Are they talking about Tomitake-san? I could feel my ears perking up. I don't know about that, but you have to make preparations before you elope. Leave a note or quit their job or something. It's an elopement because they didn't leave a note or message. The thought that I'll never see that young nurse's face again makes me rather sad. Takano-san is an upstanding young woman. She'll be fine wherever she goes. So her name was Takano-san, a woman with Tomitake-san, and she worked at this clinic? Oyashiro-sama's shadow was following me everywhere I went. No, not the shadow! Damn shadow. Damn. I started listening more closely, but they began talking about fishing. Oh, yes, fishing, yeah! And it didn't seem like they were going to revisit the topic. I gave up and left. Thus, even though I was separated from the daily monotony of school, I was able to escape from Oyashiro-sama's shadow. But of course, Oyashiro-sama was the guardian deity of this place, of Hinamizawa. As long as I was in Hinamizawa, I wouldn't be able to escape. Maybe it was because I was walking outside, but my appetite had suddenly returned. Might as well buy a snack with the change from the examination fee on the way home. Contemplating that, I turned onto a familiar street. That moment I heard a car horn abruptly honk behind me. Was I really walking so far into the middle of the road where I'd been a car's way? I moved farther off to the side, but the horn was still honking at me. I turned around, peeved. Mayabara-san, good day to you. That's not what— Mayabara-san, good day to you. It was Oishi-san. He stepped out of his car, AC on full blast, and waved at me. There he is. What's up today? School on break? Just not feeling well, so I took the day off. I was about to buy lunch and just head back home. That's great. I'm just about to get lunch myself. Would you mind going together? If you're not feeling up for it, then don't mind me. I was just gonna lie down after going home anyway. And I didn't really have a cold. I expect you'd rather avoid using one of the local places. Let's go into town. It's a bit of a drive, is that alright? I know a pretty good place. Just hop into my car, kid. And we'll drive out of town. Together. Where no one you know is. I had finally begun to understand Oishi-san's roundabout way of saying things. He probably wanted to talk to me about stuff that would be difficult to discuss while in Hinamizawa. This guy is major stranger danger. Like, seriously? I went with Oishi-san, riding in his frigid car. It was almost as if the bright sunlight outside was a lie. I'm sorry about calling you so late last night. Did your parents get angry at you? No. I recalled Rena, who had been listening to the phone conversation all that time, separated from me by just the door. Even now, in the brightness of the sunlight, thoughts still creep me out. With a big bump that jolted the car, the road connecting to the city changed from dirt to pavement. My head swiveled back with a sudden realization. That's right. This is where Tomitake-san died. They've hit a snag on the investigation regarding Tomitake-san. Oishi-san spoke while peering at me from the corner of his eye. They believed it was caused by hallucinogens. Is that how you say it, K.Ch.1? Given how he's clawing out his own throat. But a drug that could cause that to happen so suddenly is extremely hard to come by. Bear in mind, of course, the autopsy was done with that premise in mind, but we didn't find any leads. You know that thing you see in comics all the time? Where there's a drug that doesn't leave any traces after being consumed. It exists. I'm not saying that. So, suck it! Suck it in your car. I need to look this up. How to say? One minute? This video does not need to be 1 minute long.
Succinylcholine. Succinylcholine.
Succinylcholine.
Succinylcholine.
Succinylcholine. I think that's probably the full what he was trying to say. Succinylchol something or other. Well, it's pretty common. But you see, there doesn't seem to be any kind of drug that will cause Tomitake-san to react like that. Then you're saying the police concluded Tomitake-san just died from the curse? I couldn't help but feel that the police were worthless. I just wanted the idea of the curse to be disassociated from Tomitake-san's mysterious death. Unfortunately, that's how it looks right now. But putting aside the cause of death, without a doubt he was surrounded by a group of people and had taken a beating before he died. There was no curse, but an incident that unquestionably involved other humans. That made me a bit relieved. We passed in front of the rather desolate, but still busier than Hinamizawa train station. Car pulled into a restaurant parking lot and I followed Oishi-san into the shop. It was pretty crowded, but there were only adults at this hour. Of course, there wouldn't be children in here in the middle of a weekday. Do please. Make do with non-smoking.
This way, please. When you are ready to order, please call me over.
We were led by a peculiarly dressed waitress to our table. I sat with Oishi-san in the booth. So what do you think? Aren't the waitress's outfits here cute? Huh? Well, I guess? The shop is always quite busy. It's more about the waitresses than the food, you see. So, you were driving through a village, saw this kid that you've already talked to like a couple of times. You saw him, you're like, honk honk, hey kid, you wanna come with me, go get some lunch in the city where there's no one that you know and we can gawk some waitresses. Uh-huh. Oishi-san, you're leering. Hmm? Am I really? Fucking creep? Regardless of how the waitresses looked, the food was decent enough. Finishing our meals while talking about the same inane topic, Oishi-san's after-meal cup of coffee arrived at the table. Yesterday we talked about Hinamizawa's past, didn't we? Yeah, that it was the village of man-eating demons, or something like that. I didn't know much about it myself, so I asked my mother about it this morning. Oishi-san took out the notepad that was stuffed into his breast pocket. That sudden music change. Turns out that Hinamizawa used to be called Onigafuchi, the Demon's Abyss. Onigafuchi. That's quite the name. The name is still around. The swamp where the Shinto priest's wife drowned herself is still called Onigafuchi. It's said that the depths of that swamp connect to the realm of demons. Ooh. Of course, nobody had told me anything about such an ominous swamp. And you see, it appears that they were both feared and revered. Respect born of fear. I guess you could say it was a kind of deification? I don't know. A village of inhuman creatures. Seems the demons were sinning. Don't know how to say that. Or mountain-dwelling mystics of sorts. Villagers with incurable illnesses will be taken to Onigafuchi to be healed, for example. Even if we are calling them demons, Tengu, long-nosed goblins, or Sennin would be a more apt description. They don't seem like such terrible people. What's Sennin? This is just Naruto. Okay, what have we got, Wikipedia? Okay, so it's a thing. It's a thing. I don't think I really need to know what it is exactly. They don't seem like they don't seem like such terrible people, even though they were called demons. But they were still man-eating demons. According to the story my mother told me, same for treating the son's illness. Let us eat the mother who brought him here, was apparently how things went. The price of curing her son was herself? That's unsettling. Of course the mother took her son and ran. Then, you see, all the villagers of Onigafuchi, the demons, chased, surrounded and captured them. The entire village, apparently. It's quite a frightening thing to imagine. In the end, it seems both the mother and son were caught and eaten. The end. There's a problem with this story. Both witnesses in this story were eaten, so nobody would be able to tell the tale. Huh? There are plenty of old fables like this. In contrast to the ghastly tale, Oishi-san laughed heartily while sipping his coffee. But well, there are quite a few other tales, where the demons from Onigafuchi band together to capture their prey. I recalled that Mion said all the villagers united and fought against the dam construction. And I saw similarities with how that part about unification overlapped. They would always hunt down a single person, and they chose who it was going to be beforehand. Huh? That caught my attention. Oishi-san also appeared to be pondering what it meant. My mother told me that you must never interfere with the demon's hunt. You should just hole up in your house and hide under the covers, she said. So what does this all mean? It means you must never help or protect the prey. As long as you don't disturb the demon's hunt, no harm will fall upon the villagers. It seems there's that kind of rule. Basically, don't help the victims. Then she didn't see the atrocities. In other words, what happens if you break the rule? Well, they're man-eating demons after all. Many parts of that tale caught my attention. Parts of the story he told me overlapped with his theory that the entire village was in on the crime. Even if it wasn't the whole village, it was conceivable that the villagers were hiding under the covers and leaving them to die. It was conceivable that the villagers were hiding under the covers and leaving them to die when there's a group that was on okay, so it is conceivable that the villagers were just ignoring it and leaving them to die when there's a group that was on their hunt. Wasn't it? I didn't dare speak it. Then, Oishi-san, I guess it looks like it's either the entire village or a group of villagers perpetrating the crimes? What do you think, Mayabara-san? You, like, 15-year-old kid? What do you think about those murders? These crimes? Ah, excuse me. Another cup of coffee, please. But I wanted to know. It seemed that we were both waiting for the other to say that last part. We waited for the waitress to finish pouring coffee before speaking. Last year I had a nagging feeling when Satoshi-kun disappeared. Oishi-san muttered as he watched the milk swirl around in his coffee. Those friends of Satoshi-san, meaning your group of friends, Mayabara-san, I had a bit, really, just a little bit, of background checking done on them. Oishi-san had said this to me before. I would have gotten angry at him for calling my friends into question. But as I was now, I couldn't. This might sound pretty stupid. Mayabara-san, if you feel that it's stupid, please say so. I'll just stop. Oishi-san was wearing the most serious expression that I'd ever seen from him. It was as if he was telling me to prepare myself and listen. There were quite a few things I regretted hearing from Oishi-san, but none of them were as threatening as this. The little voice inside me was screaming like an alarm. Stop, Keiichi. This was probably the last one. I took a deep breath and silenced that voice. I would not run from the truth. Please. That was all I could utter. Oishi-san stared into my eyes silently for a few moments. After he was certain I was ready, he began. The victim of the incident in the first year was the overseer. A few weeks prior, he had an altercation with Mion Sonozaki-san. Multiple altercations. Oishi-san had said before that Mion had defied the dam project vehemently? Well, it wasn't hard to imagine how she'd be if she got worked up. And in the second year, the married couple who supported the project died in that accident, right? Their daughter was with them at the time. Her name is Satoko Hojo-san. Huh? Satoko meaning... Satoko? Oishi-san's look told me that my voice was too loud. I realized it as well and quickly quieted down. The Shinto priest and his wife who died in the third year, you see. Their daughter is Rika Furude-san. Rika-chan was... The housewife who died in the fourth year, you already know, don't you? She was a step-aunt of Satoko Hojo-san. She was in her aunt and uncle's custody, as she had lost both her parents in the accident. She lived in the victim's house. I could tell my lips were getting dry. I didn't even have the wits to keep my mouth from hanging agape. I had thought it was nothing but a bizarre incident, one that I could easily distance myself from, but clicking and clacking, it snuck all the way to my feet. The one who disappeared the fourth year, by the way, he was Satoko-chan's older brother. But, wait, just a second. Took everything I had to finally say that. I gulped down a glass of water and once again wiped my face with a napkin. Let's have some tea. These are some revelations. I'll probably, like after the stream, I'll take note of all this stuff. I should have it in basically my cheat sheet document, I guess. But I want to get... I think in Umineko, it was really, really useful taking notes. I know that this isn't Umineko, like it's different. And, yeah, I don't know. But, I think I really enjoyed interacting with it in that way. And so I want to do that for this as well. But, I think definitely at least for, like, the first half, like, of the games, like the first 4, I think, I want to be taking notes of these things. Because I assume that's when I'm going to be learning most of the stuff that I will need to solve the mystery. Assuming. This is all assuming. But I want to understand what's going on. I don't want to just be sitting back and letting it happen. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah. Cooling down my tea. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. But Oichi-san was relentless. Instead of waiting for me to finish sorting out my feelings, he started speaking again. The last of the things I shouldn't have heard. All of the victims seem to be connected to your group of friends. Has to be just a coincidence. Maebara-san, keep it down. Everyone's looking. Mion? Satoko? Rika-chan? So what if they're connected? You're telling me all of my friends? It couldn't be. It just couldn't be. Well, Rena is different, isn't she? Rena isn't connected with the victims at all. Rena Ryugu was living in a suburb of Ibaraki Prefecture up until last year. I'm sorry, that's so gross. Well, it's true she hadn't directly met any of the victims. He said it in a roundabout way. Is he saying she's also connected? Actually, I looked into her. Before Ryugu-san moved away to Hinamizawa, she was suspended from school. Seems she went through a school building and broke all of the windows. Rena did that? She broke all the windows at her school? That same spacey Rena had. I couldn't even imagine it. Seems that after her 3-day suspension, she didn't return to school. She went to a neurologist and was diagnosed with dysautonomia. Alright, how do I say that? Oh, this is the same channel as the last one. It's another minute-long video.
Dysautonomia.
Dysautonomia. She was given weeks of counseling and medication. Wonder if it was something like a nervous breakdown. I'd heard that it happens to people who are really methodical or overly sensitive. What is dysautonomia? The autonomic nervous system does not work properly. So, what is it? Was malfunction of the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system controls the automatic functions of the body that we do not consciously think about, such as heart rate, blood pressure, digestion, dilation, and constriction of the pupils of the eye, kidney function, and temperature control. People living with various forms of dysautonomia have trouble regulating these systems, which can result in lightheadedness, fainting, unstable blood pressure, abnormal heart rates, malnutrition, and in severe cases, death. Okay. See. Interesting. Neither of those matched Reina's easygoing personality. And in the counselor's medical report, he recorded all the conversations he had with Reina-san. It shows up. And quite a bit at that. What did? I pressed forward carelessly. It couldn't be anything more for me to regret. She mentioned the word Oyashiro-sama. Felt like someone's stone-cold hand was caressing my back. Why had Reina spoken of Oyashiro-sama before she even came to Hinamizawa? Seems that the Oyashiro-sama she spoke of was like a ghost, appearing in her house every night, standing over her pillow, looking down at her. My mind froze. Couldn't process what I was being told. While after that, she moved to Hinamizawa. Ah, that's right. She's not an outsider. Huh? According to their residency register, the Ryugu family used to reside in Hinamizawa. They moved to Ibaraki just as Reina-san entered elementary school. My mind went completely blank. It was similar to the static you'd see on a blank TV channel. My ears began ringing as I lost all sense of comprehension. Maibata-san, are you alright? Shall we start? His words brought me back. I couldn't let it end here. Now I know about Reina. Then, how about the last victim, Tomitake-san? Who was he connected with? Irritated, I let out one final reprisal. All of them. Have you forgotten Maibata-san? Didn't you all spend the night at the festival together quite merrily? Quite a few of the officers saw you enjoying yourselves. No, there was nothing I could respond with. I fell silent as my brain turned to mush. We should get going. Ah, Maibata-san, did you take your afternoon medicine? I had completely forgotten about the medicine I had gotten today until Oishi-san said that. I got another glass of water, and we left the shop after I chugged it down. We got in the car and returned to Hinamizawa via the rough road. I never really paid attention when I was on my bike, but did cars normally shake this much? It's almost as if the road was desperately trying to tell me something. A dump? That big jolt was from the difference in elevation of the road when it changed from cement to dirt. I was certain that I heard Tomitake-san scream. I sat in silence, just letting myself be shaken by the car. I'll drop you off at your house. You missed school because you were ill, correct? My apologies for the long conversation. Why did you talk to me? Blurted out the question. Really, just blurted it out. Didn't expect an answer. I did check with you first, didn't I? If we should just stop. Not that. Why did you reach out to me? I understood quite well that Oishi-san was investigating this string of suspicious incidents. My throat is starting to hurt. Maybe I'll just have some water. You gotta stay hydrated, everyone. I understood quite well that Oishi-san was investigating this string of suspicious incidents. But why was he telling me all this? That's a really weird thing. Ichi's just a kid. And if anything, like, wouldn't Keiichi be a suspect as well? I mean, maybe that is the point. Maybe he thinks Keiichi's a suspect, and so he's like, yeah, I can, like, take advantage of this and get information out of him. But it's, like, it's weird. Keiichi, you're stranger danger, man. Seriously. I knew nothing, and I couldn't help. Everything Oishi-san spoke of was news to me. First of all, what could I, having just moved here, possibly know? By chance, if there was a reason for Oishi-san to reach out to me, then it would have to be that I was part of Mion's circle of friends, who looked suspicious to Oishi-san. I'm retiring this year. I plan on moving away after retiring as my mother wants. So while I'm still on the case, I want to bring the truth behind this incident to light. So, Oishi-san, you suspect them, don't you? All of them. Oishi-san didn't really give a response. It felt a little late, but I thought it was his way of showing a bit of consideration for my feelings. This is mostly my intuition from 30 years on this job. Ayabara-san, you're the one in danger. Huh? I wanted to reply with, that's absurd, but in my downtrodden state, I couldn't bring myself to say it. I'll be retiring this year, so I won't be at the Watanagashi next year. So I want to settle things. In other words, he was insinuating that on the next Watanagashi, I might be the victim. I've been warned by the chief as well. Each incident in the string of cases has been solved, so don't bring it up again, or so I was told. This is the pressure that I'm facing. Pressure from what? Someone in Hinamizawa. We've arrived. Is this fine? After some time, the car finally reached the path to my house. The clock read 2 p.m. I was surprised so little time had passed since we ate. It was hot outside the car. The chirping of the Higurashi hurt my ears. I won't mind if you just forgot everything I told you today, but I'm still gonna keep investigating. I'll land Oyashiro-sama's coast this year. So you're saying I should contact you if anything happens? It's fine. Just contact me when you feel you have to, Mayabara-san. I wasn't collected enough to understand what Oishi-san's roundabout way of saying it. To understand Oishi-san's roundabout way of saying it, okay, yep. Be sure to take it easy. I'm sorry for throwing all this at you while you're taking the day off because you're sick. I didn't really give any sort of response. I'll always be on your side. Anything believe that. I'll be off now. The tires crunched over the dirt road as the car made a U-turn and disappeared into a cloud of kicked-up dust. Felt like I was watching a boat only throw me a lifesaver in shark-infested waters before disappearing into the distance. Yeah, that is what it feels like. That was the first time I thought Oishi-san was being unfair. Telling me I was going to be the next victim, and just saying to contact him if something happened. This wasn't a criminal investigation. He was fishing. And I was just a bait dangling off the line. I always say it! Bitches be fishing! Would the fish be the perpetrator? Was it really just Oyashiro-sama's curse? Either way, the bait would be swallowed whole. Damn it. I don't want to die. Sometime I could do nothing but stare at the puddle of water left behind by the AC from the car. at the end of the chapter? Nope. Wonder how much time had passed since I laid down. It was getting dark outside. My body was soaked in sweat. It'd probably be a good idea to change my sheets. At that moment, the phone downstairs rang. It was probably Mum. Mum was quite the worrywart. Maybe she had called many times, but I just didn't notice it. So he's definitely unwell. Hello, this is the Mayabara residence. Oh, he's alive. Hello. This is Mion. How you doing? Is this one of Keiichi's friends? Keiichi's resting now, but shall I put him on? Huh? Is this his dad? Ah, sorry. Ah, idiot. You fell for it. Huh? Kei-chan. After our exchange, we both had a good laugh together. Except I was suspicious of her, even as we were laughing. Was everybody really involved in the incidents? The fact that I couldn't say no saddened me. I'm relieved that she seemed well. Reina was really worried, you know. Satoko-chan was happy and said you got what you deserved. Big-chan said, how unfortunate he's sick. Looks like everyone was making a big deal out of it. Well, you know, so Kei-chan, now a bad time to come pay you a visit? A visit? No, it's okay. It's not like I'm dying. My grandma made a ton of mochi, you see. I was told to share them, so I'll bring you some. Hey, now you'll catch my cold. Not to worry, both Reina and I are too stupid to catch a cold. See ya! I'll be there in a bit. She hung up cheerfully. Reina's coming too? That's what it sounded like. I was so concerned about meeting Reina, but I guess if she was with Mion. I heard the doorbell 10 minutes later. With that gun! Why does she have a gun? Every time, it's like... It's a gun! How are you feeling? Did you take your medicine and rest? I did just that.
Thank goodness you look well. I was worried.
Sorry, I'll be fine by tomorrow. Mion showed a complete lack of concern for someone who's recovering, and made it look like she was worried about me from the bottom of her heart. It didn't look like there was anything behind those expressions. I thought we might hang out for a bit, but it looks like you're not quite in the condition for that. You don't say? See, my face appeared a bit sullen.
And here, Keiichi-kun. These are the mochi Mi-chan's grandma made.
Reina held out the package wrapped in newspaper. Might be about 5 in here. It was quite hefty. Thanks. Send my regards to your grandma, Mion.
Yep. There's one that I made in there as well. I wonder if Keiichi-kun can guess which one.
This is Kei-chan's homework since we missed the club meeting today. There are letters on each mochi, so I'll ask you tomorrow. Were you checking if I was feeling better, or did you just come here for club activities? Yep, looking fine. Guess you'll be able to make it tomorrow. Man, what are you gonna do if my fever comes back because of your shenanigans?
Mi-chan, we shouldn't be making such a racket. Let's go. Other people here will get angry.
Both of them thought my parents were home. It was because the entranceway was a mess. You're right, let's get going. By the way, Kei-chan. Yeah? What did you eat for lunch? Sudden questions startled me and I went wide-eyed when I saw Mion. I'd never seen her like that. It was a highly unsettling visage? I don't know how to say that word. Every time I'm like absolutely ruining the moment. I don't know how to say that. But why is she asking me about what I ate for lunch? What she said was so inane, it was almost meaningless. The way she said it, it was almost like she didn't even care at all about what I ate. I ate out. She must have suspected that I was with Oishi-san. Anyway, I felt that if I hesitated or tried to change the subject, then they'd read too deep into it, so I tried answering as quickly as possible. Except, contrary to the efforts I had made, there was a pause before they replied.
You ate out for lunch, Keiichi-kun?
The glimmer from Reina's eyes had changed at some point as well. It was now sharp, as if to make me feel the feigned ignorance behind her words even more. As if she already knew. That's how it looked to me. Well, was it good? Why are you asking me this? Mion was speaking in an unusually low tone, almost as if she knew that I had eaten at the restaurant in town. No, I'm overthinking this. I mean, both of them should have been in school at lunchtime. There was no way they could have known where I was. Seems you were with a rather I have no clue how to even start pronouncing that word.
Austere.
Austere. Austere-looking older guy. Who was he? Flop. The package with the mochi I was holding slipped out of my hands. I could tell the blood had drained from my face, making me go pale.
Oh? Keiichi-kun, who was he? Could it be the person from before, I wonder? I
feel the back of my throat going dry. It was no longer a bluff. They knew everything? How do you know that? Took everything I had to finally force those words from my throat. My knees were shaking. Because there's nothing this old man doesn't know. Mion sneered knowingly. Her laugh seemed to carry on forever. So, Kei-chan, what did he talk about? It seems like you got pretty worked up over it too. We weren't talking about you guys. Didn't have anything to do with you or Rena.
Isn't it a bit strange to hear our names come up even though nobody asked about that?
Rena's unwavering gaze pierced through my eyes and peered further inside me. I dug my own grave. My heart was throbbing so much it felt like it was going to explode. Well, whatever you're trying to hide, this old man already sees through it all. Remember that. I couldn't even shake my head. She took everything I had to stop my teeth from chattering. She never let her gaze break from mine, even as she tilted her head slightly.
Keiichi-kun, you don't look so good. I think you should lie down.
That's true. We should both head back home. As if nothing had happened, they both giggled at each other and started making their way out. I hadn't moved a muscle since I had dropped the package of mochi. As they left, the door slowly closed behind them. All I could do was stare, as if I couldn't move until the door was completely closed. Just as the door was about closed, it opened again slightly with a sudden creak, setting my heart racing once again. A single eye peered through that narrow slit and Mion's hawkish gaze peered at me once again. See you, Kei-chan. Yeah. I'd hate it if you missed school tomorrow, alright? Thud. The door closed. I wasn't able to move a muscle, even after their low laughter died off into the distance and silence once again enveloped the room. Coming back to my senses, the first thing I did was lock the door. They knew what Oishi-san and I talked about? Why? How? That wasn't important. Thinking about it now, all of it could have been overheard from the beginning when Oishi-san met me. Just as Mion said I couldn't hide anything. Then what were they trying to tell me? A part was obvious. They were warning me not to say anything unnecessary. What did they deem unnecessary? I only talked with Oishi-san about one thing, and they were warning me that was unnecessary. What was it that Oishi-san talked to me about? The incident involving Oyashiro-sama's curse that occurred every year when individual cases, but were connected as a whole, as well as the fact that there may be multiple perpetrators hidden within Hinamizawa, or more precisely, Mion, Reina, Satoko, and Rika-chan were all suspicious. Is that what they are warning me against? What kind of nonsense am I thinking about? I hit my own face hard enough that it let out a loud slap. If only that would wake me from this nightmare, but for some reason it felt like I was punching a blanket. It was almost laughably painless. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. When did I become such a pessimist? Calm down, settle down and sort things out. The reason Mion knew I was eating lunch with Oishi-san was probably because somebody from Hinamizawa just happened to be there at the time. They must have told Mion that I was there. That made the most sense. Plus, come to think of it, didn't ask me where I ate lunch, did she? Gently asked, was it good? They were just curious since I was together with someone not from Hinamizawa. It's not as if they had any ulterior motives. That's it. That has to be it. Thinking about it that way, it was the same with Rena. I was just being strangely ambiguous about when I met with Oishi-san, and Rena was just correcting me on that. That's when I was bewildered by the change in character from the usual mild-mannered Rena, and was just startled by it. That's the most natural way of thinking about it. I felt like my mind was mixed up like a tangled mess of spaghetti. Deep red marinara sauce would have poured out of my nose and ears if you squeezed my head. Thinking that, I suddenly felt like vomiting. I really didn't want that to happen, so I stopped holding my head. Lately I had no idea what anyone was saying. Spending time with them was fun. It didn't feel like there was any sort of hidden agenda. I really do think that they're a good bunch of people. And I just moved here and couldn't make heads or tails of everything. They were really kind to me. Rena was really kind and always looked after me. As long as that strange affliction didn't rear its ugly head, she was really pretty cute. Mion is also a really good person. She didn't care about anyone's age or gender, and was optimistic and outgoing. I was never bored when I was with her. Talking of not getting bored, rambunctious Satoko was a good person for that too. She was pretty bratty, but that was just the way she interacted with others. Rika-chan was the same way. I'd speak often, but that didn't mean she was always silent. They're my friends. But after hearing of the better untold secrets from Hinamizawa from Oishi-san and Tomitake-san, and I was told about Oyashiro-sama's curse, things started going crazy. And hearing from Oishi-san that Mion, Reina, Satoko, and Rika-chan were all suspicious. After that, everyone changed. That's right. It all started getting weird after Oishi-san told me all that strange stuff. That time, I really should have just not listened to those weird stories. I shouldn't have even asked Tomitake-san about the past incidents on the night of the Watanagashi. If I just hadn't gotten that strange sense of curiosity, if I just hadn't... That's right. That's why they fucked Tomitake-san? They what? That impudent outsider speaking to the likes of me after everybody went out of their way to keep it a secret from me. I'm sure that it's like, that's why they killed and it's just censored for like dramatic effect, but like... Seriously? That like, so, okay. Took me out of it so much. They'll probably fuck Oishi-san as well. For trying to unearth what everybody was warning me was better left buried. Besides that, he was unforgivable for spewing words that made me doubt the others. Of course, a guy like that is gonna be fucked. Both Tomitake-san and Oishi-san were nothing but outsiders after all. They were entities who couldn't coexist with the people of Hinamizawa. These guys who just fought to Oyashiro-sama's curse and just... die. It wasn't their fault. It was my fault for not being able to hold back my curiosity. It wasn't their fault. 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 I settled into a daze. It was a lethargic feeling like I had just gotten up, but the ominous chill that haunted me had subsided. I was fine now. I was no longer frightened. I'd completely recovered. I'll go to school tomorrow, right as rain. I'll greet everyone. I'll take part in club activities. It'll definitely be fun. It had to be fun. I was one of them after all. That reminds me, I need to eat those mochi. Hope I'm able to tell which one Rena made. I remembered the homework the two brought with them when they visited me. But wow, our club did delivery. That was something else. Picked up the package I dropped on the floor and headed into the living room. It'd be nice, I guess, to have some tea with it. To fill my mouth with mochi while drinking tea. Oh, this was quite a delectable situation I was in. Opening up the newspaper wrapping, there were 5 plump red bean paste mochi fit snugly inside. There were letters written from left to right on the newspaper. A, B, C, D, and E. Now then. They said Rena made one of these. I wonder which one. There wasn't much difference in how they looked. They smelled and appeared about the same. This was a pretty difficult problem. The biggest difference was probably their shape. I wasn't sure what kind of person Mion's grandma was, but Rena had to be different from hers. Looking carefully, I could see one mochi that was made very neatly. So well that, just by staring at it, one could tell it stood out. Looks like this challenge depends on whether or not this one is Rena's. Calm down and think even harder. Neon had said her grandma made a ton of them and was told to give some out if I remembered correctly. That meant 4 of these were from that large batch. And what about Rena? He probably only made 1. She probably spent quite a bit of time on it. Meaning, the one Rena had made was this one. E. For a moment I thought it may have been a trap Mion laid, as she knew I'd pick up on it, but that probably wasn't the case. I wouldn't be so sure if I knew Mion had made it, but since she said Rena made it, it probably wasn't a trap. Alright. My tea is ready too. I'll start with the defending champ, Mion's grandma. Let's see. Not bad. The smooth bean paste and soft chewy texture left little to be desired. The tea I drank afterwards also accentuated the experience. This was an exquisite piece of work. Now, how about Rena's? The creation was so delicate, and I might think it was a high-class Japanese dessert. I normally had quite the appetite. I was slightly worried about this, the size of the portion, but, well, first a bite. This is quite a difficult one to judge, actually. The ingredients were exactly the same, so there was little difference in flavor. What was different was how it was shaped at the end, so it was to be expected. The deciding factors would be presentation and volume. The well-formed and well-sized champion versus Rena the challenger with a size you just couldn't get enough of. I'd only had 1 bite of Rena's. I would probably have to wait until after I was done eating to make my decision. Maybe there was something hidden inside that could cause an upset. True. Here's my prediction was right. My tongue touched something. Didn't feel like something edible, so I reached in with my fingers and grabbed it. What was this? Before I could fully comprehend what it was, I threw away the rest of the mochi I was eating as fast as I could. It slammed against the wall, causing the bean jam to splatter. Then, after sticking for a moment, it slid down to the floor. I was dumbstruck by my own actions. What was I doing? Rin had gone out of her way to make it for me. How could I? Okay, I want to keep going to like the end of the chapter, but my voice is not going to hold out. So we're going to stop here. We're going to find out what's in Rena's mochi next time. Thank you all very much for coming along. Hopefully I will be streaming more in the coming days. I won't be streaming tomorrow. After that, we'll see. As always, I will keep you posted on my Discord. And yeah, see you in the next stream, everyone. Thank you for coming. Bye bye.